Jeff Frozen at Homestead. Let me show you what I've been doing here at the homestead. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. My name is Jeff Frozen at Homestead. And there's been some work done here on this build. So let me take a look at, let's us take a look at what we've done with the ceiling and some of the walls here. So we did not do this in action just because there was spray foam going everywhere. There's a lot of overspray that happens with this. So when they say tape off stuff, yeah, tape it off. We didn't tape anything off. And yeah, we got stuff like on the doorknob. So it will come off eventually. Anyhow, so we sprayed this, it was called Touch and Foam, I think. And so that's a couple layers on there. That's not quite 2 inches thick, because I can tell you one thing. When we were doing this, we were battling a couple of things. On the package, and I'll show you this here in a second. On the package, they were very strict about temperature. Temperature of the product, temperature of the air, temperature of the surface. Well, just on the other side of this is a metal roof, and when the sun is directly on it, it heats up pretty fast. So by noon, it's already over 90 degrees, and technically, you're not supposed to spray it when it reaches 90. So we had to work pretty quick to make sure that it reached the temperature we needed, and then start working. And we didn't know what to expect. We've never done it before. So our first time to layer, the very first layer was probably too thin, so we didn't get that full inch. Then the second layer, we did it a little bit differently, and I think it turned out better on the second layer. I've got some extra, so some of the areas I may put a third layer on to get me my 2 inches. But what we also did was we started with some of the insulation. So this is R19. This is for a 2x6 wall. So even though these are 2x10, and these are like 6 1/4 plus a couple inches there, so there's a gap between the foam insulation and this, but it was easier just to staple it onto the rafters there. Now I'm not going to put the radiant barrier or the reflected on this. It's only going to be on the walls. But as you can see, we've even done some on the walls here. We got started. We didn't finish that part. As we were going, we left this part. Why? Well, we got a wall here, so it was easier just to put this whole thing down. You can see some of the overspray. In the bathroom, however, I don't know how this is going to come out in the dark. It's come out pretty good. So we still got to put the insulation up on the roof and a little trim piece up on top there, but we got the walls kind of roughed in. So this will be the bathroom. We still have to enclose this, but I'll say that's all done. I got a pocket door for the bathroom. So for the mud room, so we got some more rolls of it. We've got the spray up here, so we still have to finish some of this. So let me show you these boxes, and I'll show you a little bit of the instructions on this. So these are the boxes. You got a can A and a can B. They're about 50 pounds, 45 pounds or so each. There's some wind. But Contact free in about 30 to 60 seconds. It's cuttable 2 to 5 minutes, fully cured in an hour. But here's the part that it says important. You got to check the 3 temperatures. The chemicals need to stay above 70. So basically between 70 and 90. The surface between 60 and 90. And the air between 60 and 90. And some of the other YouTube videos that I saw and other instructions basically said it has to be at that. If anything is different, then you're going to run into problems. We did have some protective gear. We had some face masks. They're easy to come by nowadays. And some gloves and some goggles and a full body suit. And I'll show a picture of one of us doing it. Now this 600, what that means is at 1 inch, it will cover 600 square feet at 1 inch. And you basically spray this on at 1/4 inch at a time. You get a 15-foot hose, and that's very acceptable. Plenty of length. That lubricant, and I'll show you here when I show you the tanks. That's actually pretty nice on the yeah, both packages tell you the same thing on the temperature. Alright, let me go show you the tank itself. Alright, so these are in the sun here. So you turn it on here. There's a little tool to help tighten these hoses. And you can see all the overspray. This is your gun. We left that one on. What we found though was when we were spraying, buildup on this end happened a lot. Now they give you multiple tips. So changing the tips, if we would have changed the tips more often, we probably would have avoided maybe some of this overspray. It's pretty simple. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. It's just like a 1/4 turn and it comes off, maybe. And that lubricant is just Vaseline that goes on right there on that rubber seal. And that keeps it from actually, and some people will put it on the front here, but I was told just on the rubber seal. And that's to keep all this buildup from happening right there. These are the type of gloves we used. I picked up small, medium, large, extra large, because there was like 5 of us here. And we didn't know exactly what we were doing. So I didn't know if we were going to have 2 or 3 guys spraying at one time. I bought 3 suits, 3 body suits, all the same size, all oversized, just to give us room to move and wear clothes underneath it. And so I just bought different sizes. As you can see, we didn't even open this one. Just some generic goggles, and I can tell you, having a goggle that will go around your eyes is going to be a good idea. If you have multiple goggles, that's probably good, because we actually found that after spraying for a while, so much stuff got on the goggle that we had to replace the goggle. So it's basically, I guess what I'm saying is, your face is up in there and you're going to get a lot of overspray on your face. So you might want to have a couple of sets of goggles. I bought the Tyvek suit. It wasn't that expensive. I forget. I'll put a link on this stuff down in the down in my description field. But this suit worked out really good. It gets hot in there, obviously, but the suit was perfect. I don't have any more face masks. We used them all up. They give you plenty of tips. They give you 5 of each. This is a corner spray, if you will. It's a jet spray. This is, and you want to fill in the corners first, the seams basically, with this, and then you come back with the yellow one, and the yellow one is a wand. See how it's completely different? So it's a wand spray. And that basically fills in the rest of it. You put on about 1/4 inch, and it's supposed to expand up to about 1 inch from there. So basically, in a nutshell, my conclusion of that spray foam, awesome. We went a little too fast in the very beginning, and because of that, it was thinner than what it should have been. You want to put a nice even flow of 1/4 inch. And we kind of were going maybe this fast, and we should have been going probably this fast. You don't want to put too much on it at one time, because then it just builds up and then the whole thing gets really too heavy to hold and it falls. It does come out at about 130 degrees, so when it first hits, the chemical reaction puts it at about 130 degrees. We actually were taking our infrared thermometer here, and you can see the overspray on this. See, Concho's even seeing it. And so we were always checking the roof, the ceiling, and everything to see, are we still within our temperature range and of our wood. And then we started noticing, towards the end, we started spraying the freshly sprayed, or did the infrared on the freshly sprayed, and you could see it was like over 100, but it dropped really fast, obviously. So that was pretty interesting to see. But take your time, but yet go fast, because you don't want that build up and clog up your nozzles. Don't be afraid to use more than one nozzle. And nice to have a couple of extra hands with you so that they could move the tanks if you're in a bigger area. And then each tank is about 45 pounds. And temperature is important. And get extra bodysuits. They're pretty inexpensive. Like I said, I'll put a link down in the description field of my Amazon link, so you can get some of those if you want. And just some basic face masks. Really, all you're trying to do, I think. Well, we noticed the smell, and we also noticed a little bit later, if you wore glasses, for an example, some of that overspray would start caking up on your glasses. So even if you're not doing the spray and you're just watching, you want to wear some goggles, some kind of eye protection, because all of those little oversprays are going to get in your eye. And the smell really wasn't too bad. We had a lot of windows and doors open, so we had great ventilation. But when you were up in there, when you were like this close, just a foot or two away, when your face is up in there and you're spraying, you smell it. So you definitely want to have, not only because of the scent, the fumes, but also just to keep the stuff off your face. That stuff is just like your canned spray foam. When that gets on you, it's difficult to get it off. And then we didn't tape anything up, but yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Making sure you tape stuff up, and have an extra couple buddies, extra goggles, extra face masks, extra deals. I was wondering if they would be too tight. We got extra large. One of the people that was spraying, he's 6'2", and it was perfect size for him. And then another guy that was spraying is like 5'10", 9", something like that. We kind of went to extremes. I didn't spray; those two sprayed, and then they're spraying. So they were like the tallest and the shortest guy out of the bunch, and we used the same one. So the short guy on the extra large on that Tyvek, the headpiece kept going over it just a little too far. But outside that, it was absolutely perfect. You got enough room in there. So probably get an extra size Tyvek suit is probably going to be a good idea. Especially because you're wearing clothes underneath. And it also allows you for a lot of easy movement. And then extra mask, extra goggles, and expect it to be a mess. So that's about it. I'm hoping it will do the job. It should take care of any air and moisture and prevent any condensation. That's what it's designed to do, and we should be good to go. So, Jeff, Arizona Hot Homestead. Thanks for watching, folks. See you. Bye. Have fun.